Welcome to this week's painting update. Quite a mixed bag this time around. Lots of modern furniture, an order from Heresy Miniatures, and some old stuff that's finally seen a paintbrush. I'm going to start with the modern scenery. I painted this the week before last. It was really hot here, and I wasn't up to painting anything more complicated. I did try. It was the first week of my summer holiday. And I was a little disappointed not to be able to get a lot done, but I did get this box of scenery done. So on the left here, as you look at it, most of the stuff on the left is 1/50th scale architects models from eBay, all made out of styrene. They're very light, very simple, no surface detail. Quite hard to paint, really, but for all that, they're good enough for scenery. So there's some sofas, there's some beds. I mean, the beds are really simple. There's absolutely no detail on them at all. But you know, stuck in a room with the figures in front of them, they'll look fine. I like my scenery to be in the background a bit. So there's some beds, there's some chairs, there's some sort of corporate chairs. It's mostly corporate stuff. Little wireframe chairs. This here meeting table, quite a nice piece. So that's them. You can hear they're all sort of tiny. Gonna just shuffle them across. So then the other parts over on this side are 3D printed pieces. So there's a TV, a couple of desks with some chairs. Obviously this is the chairs are at the wrong side of the desk, but you get the idea. Not the desk. And some kitchen stuff, washing machine, sink, oven. I printed these, I got the files off a Kickstarter I backed ages ago. And as you can see, I kept them very simple. I mean, basically everything's black, white and brown. Because it's scenery and it's just there to set the ambience, not to be a feature. So there we go, 34 pieces of modern scenery went from being unpainted in the box to being painted and ready to be used. Once the weather cooled down a bit, things got back to normal, which was a lot better for me. And I got a delivery of miniatures from Heresy Miniatures because they had a sale on. So I finally decided it was time to buy some of their stuff that I've been looking at for a while. And so they arrived, and they were immediately put on the painting table. So what do we got here? We've got some on this side here. We've got some Maggot men. This one's actually a Maggot woman, which is quite nice. So 3 little Maggot men. Maggot man king, I guess. I think it's called a Maggot man bull, but you know, and a kind of death worm. And then behind them here, we've got some kind of walking mouth things. I forget what they're called, sorry, going to move Boris for a minute. Walking mouth things. So they're really, I don't know, what are they? They're really unpleasant, aren't they? And then there's an ogre, which I've wanted for quite some time. There's, going to move Boris again. There's this rather nice vampire bat kind of chap. And of course, there's Heresy's signature miniature, Boris. I've bought loads of Borises over the years and I've never ended up painting him, and he's always been sold on, so I'm very pleased to have got hold of one I actually got around to painting. These are all resin, all these miniatures apart from Boris's axe are the new resin ones, so they're very light, they're very nice. And I'm just going to show you this one. this shows the advantage of using my basing compound because it's got the glue in it, which some people asked, why has it got glue in it? You don't need glue, just hold the sand and grit together. And I go, well, you don't, but because it's got glue in it, it'll stick the miniature to the base. This is held to its base only by the basing material. There's no, I didn't have to glue it. You can just put the base material on the base, squidge him down, and he's there. And that means you don't have to get your paintbrush into all the sort of recesses and risk getting basing material up on your miniature. Same with these little guys. They're not quite as necessary to that, but these are getting a basing material underneath this one, for instance. That's the female, yes. Quite tricky without getting muck all over the figure. So there we go. He's got an integral base. These are fine. So there we go. That's my Heresy order. The sale's finished now, I think, but you can still buy stuff from Heresy anytime you like. Andy's a really nice guy, and I think he makes some excellent figures. And finally for this week, the odds and sods. Another sale going on was from Ainsty Castings, so I got a couple more of their bits of scenery here and here to be scenery pieces for my Rebel Star project. I got a lot more Ainsty stuff, but you'll see that later because well, because I'm painting some at the moment, but also because some of it's going into a build project which I hope to have done before the end of my holidays. So this is going to be my Medibay marker where you get your Medi probes, and this is going to be something else when I think of a use for it, but it's quite nice. Again, they come in pairs, so I do them back to back, so they're freestanding piece because they're for that particular game. Okay, as well as that from Ainsty, I got these 3 silent running robots which are in their Valley Forge set. I've had some of these before, but I wanted some individual ones. I did them very quickly yesterday, so they made it into this painting update. Their accompanying crewmen and buggies and things will be in a later one. So some little sci-fi pieces, stick them to one side. Right, that's it for the Ainsty things. So well, here's a Greek woman. Thought I'd done all my Greek figures. Shuffling around the back of the painting bench, I found one more, so she was finished off very quickly yesterday. She's from Bronze Age Miniatures, same as all the others. Fantastic. Now she's done. I'm almost sure that's the last of my Greek figures. To go with her, while I did her, this is obviously Fulsa Doom from Conan. Nice statue. Forget who makes it. I got it from Fenris Games. Resin. Nice piece. Did it very simply, just stone colour, because it'll sit at the back somewhere in Menace Conan, but that's an easy one to get onto the painted column. And then we got these two. These are right, so this one, points and prizes if you recognise it. This is a plastic kit. Let's move my bus out of the way. This is a plastic kit of the Lost in Space rover from the TV series, possibly by Aurora. I bought it years and years and years ago off eBay, and it sat there painted mostly blue, and I redid it entirely, and it's really simple. It's not particularly well, I didn't put it together, it was built when I got it, but it's so I'm quite pleased with that as a little sci-fi runabout. He's needed paint from. And then this is a 3D printed little bus I did. It's got a really convincing reflection of a city in its windows, but little airport bus, little runaround bus, I don't know, whatever. So I 3D printed that and I painted that, and it'll make an appearance in in my upcoming sci-fi game, probably, because it's quite a cute little thing. Obviously 3D printed and not the greatest thing in the world, but quite happy with it. I've got an awful lot of sci-fi vehicles coming up, which I hope to do them this week, but I need to spray paint them, and as usual when I want to do that, it's started raining a lot, so we'll see how that gets on. So anyway, for this week, that's it. I'll leave you with a bus. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.